Today we're going to smoke a 13-pound ham on this Gourmet Guru Kamado Grill. Now this is a Cumberland Gap Hickory Smoked Semi-Boneless Ham. I think this guy was right around 12.7 pounds, so it's already been smoked once. We just need to heat it up to temperature. What I'm going to do is kind of cross-hatch this ham. And the reason is I'm going to apply a rub to it. And this will let us just get a little bit more rub down in these little nooks and crannies. And it also makes for a nice presentation. So what we'll do is, it's going to take me a few minutes to do this. But I'm going to kind of cut on a diagonal here all the way across. I'll turn the ham over, until I get all the way around the guy. And then what I'm going to do is come back, like I said, and cut this kind of diamond shape. And I'm only cutting, I don't know, 1/4 inch, probably in some cases, because I'm not the best knife cutter in the world. It may be going down close to 1/2. You don't need to go too much. So as soon as I get this guy all crisscross, cut up, whatever you want to call it, we'll be back and I'll show you how we're going to season it. Now to season this guy, I'm going to use this Runnin' Wild pork candy. This is their sweet hickory. I love this stuff. This ham, as I mentioned, was a hickory smoked ham, so I think this will go real nice. Look, if you don't have this, if you don't want to go get this, you don't have to, right? Use your own favorite seasoning. Now the ingredients on this guy, brown sugar, organic evaporated cane juice, onion, garlic spices, apple cider vinegar, natural butter, and it goes on and on. But you can see I put a little mustard on this. Just going to use this as a binder to kind of hold this rub on to this ham. Don't worry, it's not going to alter the flavor. In fact, it's going to, just trust me, it's going to make everything awesome. And all we're going to do here, let me get my hands wiped off. What we're going to do here is just sprinkle a little on this guy. And then kind of try to rub it down into these little nooks and crannies that we cut into it. Oh, there you can see there's a piece I cut a little bit too big. I'll eat that after we heat it up. But I'm just going to try to get this guy covered up. And then once it's all seasoned up, we'll get it over here on this Gourmet Guru Grill. Now for the wood today, I've got some maple wood here. You can see this lighter color. And then we've got just a little bit of cherry we're going to use. As I mentioned earlier, this ham's already smoked, so we just want to put another little layer of flavor over it. Now the other thing we're going to do is use the Fogo lump charcoal today. I mentioned this charcoal in a brisket video we did a few weeks back, and there have been several questions about it. So I've got a 1/4 here, and these are just 2 random pieces. I didn't even open my eyes when I looked in the bag. I just reached down and grabbed out 2 pieces. The bag is probably halfway gone. So you don't have to worry about all the big pieces being stacked on top. But you can see that this is quite a bit larger than a lot of your lump charcoals. So quite a few folks have asked me questions about it. So far, I got to tell you, I really like it. It seems to last a very long time. All right, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of our cherry wood around here, some of our maple. We are going to cook indirect. Put the plate setter in. For you kettle guys, Weber kettle guys, just use a 2-zone. Of course, if you're using the Masterbuilt, you don't have to worry about all this. Now we've got that beautiful ham all ready to go. And you can see we're already starting to get some smoke. I've got this grill set about 275 to 280 is just fine for this. The instructions, have you cook it over 300, and it says 15 minutes a pound. I think we said this was 13 pounds, so using that as a guideline, it's 4 pounds an hour. We're looking at over 3 hours. So I'm not even going to look at this. I'll check it in 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It's been 3 hours. I'm just going to get a temperature check on this ham. We got a long way to go. It's just 115 there. Oh, wait a minute. Can you see that? 126, 124, 25, somewhere in there. There it's 127, so maybe not as far, 126. All right. So I have, I'm a little impatient, so I did open this up after an hour. And I've been opening it every hour, and I decided it was getting a little dark, so I decided to spray it every hour with a mix of 50-50 apple juice and water. All right, so we're going to let this go a little bit more before we start the glaze on it. To get this glaze going, we're going to start with a half a stick of butter. Just going to melt this down. You want to have this burner set up for about medium heat. We've got 2/3 of a cup of maple syrup, and this is real maple syrup. Don't use that fake stuff. We got 2/3 of a cup of honey. Can never have too much honey. We've got 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Let's just get this all mixed in well before we add anything else. Okay, what I've got here is 5 tablespoons of mustard. Now you can use Dijon, you can use yellow, you can use brown. It just so happens I have a mix here of Dijon and brown mustard. Okay, now the next thing we're going to add is that same pork candy rub. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of it. Get this incorporated. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit now. And for the rum today, I'm using this St. Augustine Distillery handmade rum. Now be careful, right? Because this stuff's super flammable. You can see. And we're going to add 2/3 cup of this rum. Trust me, I've caught myself on fire doing this before, so be careful. Boy, does it ever smell good. Alright, so you can see it's pretty thin right now, right? What we want to do is just simmer this, reduce it down to it's kind of like a syrup, and then it'll be ready to go on that ham. We've had another half hour go by. See if you can see that. 138. Wow, it really came up quick. So what we want to do now is get that sauce on there. It's been simmering here for about 40 minutes. And it's got a nice little syrupy consistency. This nice little bark on the outside of this ham. And one of the nice things about scoring this ham is you can get this glaze down in this ham a little deeper, just for a little bit more flavor. So what I'm going to do is, as you saw from the temperature gauge, it's almost already 140. Just going to let this sit on here maybe 10 minutes, just long enough so it can caramelize a little bit. And then we'll get this guy off the grill. Alright, this guy's 140, 141, depends on where you probe it. Let's see if we can't get it off of here. Alright, so you can see this ham got a little dark on us on these outer ridges. I'm sure that's from the sugar in that smoke. In that rub. Oh, it's got a great taste. Let's cut this guy so you can see what it's going to look like. I'm not even sure which way to cut it, but we'll give a slice. I can tell you this juice is rolling out. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Yeah, it's still hot. It's nice and warm. Hopefully you can see that. Really tender. I mean, ham usually is tender, right? I'll tell you what. The glaze on this ham is awesome. You get that sweetness and the maple. And I think I could just about eat rum on anything. Those are the predominant flavors. I'll tell you, I don't get much of the mustard. It's very, very faint in the background. But I'm telling you, this ham is delicious. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're not a subscriber already, I hope you hit this little icon with the armadillo pepper logo. That'll get you subscribed. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below.